Hello guys. So in this video, I will go over the process of sanding down the planks of my accent wall. Unfortunately, I did not video or record myself putting up the planks because I did not have the equipment required to do so. But in this case, we'll start from here. I am sanding down each of the planks to make sure that they're smooth, they're consistent across the wall, making sure that there are no uneven spots. Also trying to smooth out some of the wood planks itself. This is tedious. It was quite dusty. I had just finished working out on my Peloton and decided to go ahead and get this part done because I really wanted to get to the painting this weekend. So as you can see, I am sanding down each of those planks, making sure that it's smooth all across the wall. And as you can see, I've climbed up the ladder now because I need to get to the top portions of the wall, both sides. But it was really getting into the groove, making sure that I sand down each of the planks for it to be consistent across. I think it just looks way better finished, especially with the smoothing down the planks and making sure that they're even across the board. So still getting it in, getting a little jam in while I'm doing so, loving it. Okay, so here is the prep work, preparing the wall for painting. As you can see, I have already laid down the paper across. I am actually fixing up the plastic drop. For the carpet. One of the things that I did not do that I should have done, and you'll recognize it later on in the video, was that I should have added a second layer of the paper at the top of the ceiling because I actually got some paint on the ceiling, but I ended up correcting that with a roller brush. Oh my God, I hate prepping, but I know it is required for a nice finish along with the clean lines. So at this point, I am preparing the paint in my Wagner Flexio 3000 sprayer. I have nothing but good things to say about this thing. It has made painting a whole lot easier. Really love it. It works with all types of paints, whether you have a stain, latex, oil-based, semi-gloss. It works wonders for the wall. I purchased a tool to try to help me with the edging, but it was just too much to handle, so I ended up just foregoing that whole process. We're trying to use it, but I am in the process of painting, and you'll see some of the obstacles that I had throughout the process as such with regards to setting the actual dial to the right content for it to be sprayed. So I did have to try it a couple of times. Right now I'm masking up. I recommend it highly, masking up and putting on safety goggles. Make sure that you are protected as well. So look at me. I am going to be looking crazy in the camera in a few minutes. Preparing my NARS. Come on, King's Disease 2. Yes. I am getting ready to spray paint, so enjoy. Mask on. Hello world. So at this point I did a test run. Yes, I would have normally started from the corner, at least from the bottom, and worked my way up, but I was really trying to make sure I had the correct amount of pressure for the sprayer to work, and so I decided to start in the middle just to get a little test run. And once I figured it out, I had this actually set on 7 for wall coverage. It worked wonders, and I was really able to get into the groove. I did have to stop a few times to add paint, of course, because I believe that the container is only a quart. I did have to go in a second time to make sure that I got the seams on both sides of the slats, but for the most part, it was great. Here was the point where I was trying to use that tool to keep me from spraying on the ceiling, but it was just too much to hold on to the actual paint sprayer and the tool at the same time, so I just said, forget it. Just let it go. Keep it moving. Here's where I tried a few times and then, fuck it. key point, make sure that you're able to get the correct amount of paint. I thought that I would be able to get this job covered with just a couple of quarts, but I ended up having to stop. You'll see where it really started to get sparse, and I ended up having to stop, go back to Lowe's, pick up another gallon this time, and then come back and finish the job. But oh well, things happen. So in this part of the video, you can clearly see that the wall is fully covered. Right now, what I am doing is just making sure that I have no spots that I've covered on both sides of the slack. So that is me going back and forth, making sure everything is covered. And here you see me using my flashlight on my camera. I was actually trying to make sure that I had coverage on both sides of the slack. So this was just a way to help me navigate through that process, make sure that I had the four boards covered. So at this point, I was done. I looked at it. I liked it initially. And then I decided to do something else. So I decided that I wanted to have some contrast. So I went with a polyurethane gloss to go over the slacks to make sure that it stands out and it pops from the satin finish of the rest of the wall. And it actually turned out a whole lot better. Like you could really see the difference. There was enough contrast. It really just popped. So in parts of the video, you'll see me take a step back to make sure that I had all of the slacks covered. I did have to come back with the ladder to hit the top area of the wall, but you'll see me coming back and forth, and that's just really me checking to make sure that I covered the slacks with the gloss. And here I completed the wall, completely finished, and voila, beautiful. Thanks for joining.